Alright, this is the first ranking I think I've done in a while. Pardon me. I meant to bring a drink over because I might need to wet my whistle. Sorry about that. I'm going to start apologizing when I have to get up because I don't mean to get up, but I need to get up. You know what I mean? So, I decided, spur of the moment, a couple weeks ago, or a week ago or so, and I was going to do a ranking of all my Scream Factory / Shout Factory movies that I own. This includes the 2 Bill and Ted movies, my collections of The Omen, Critters, and The Fly, as well as my Power Rangers movies, some other horror films, the Scream Factory movies I got in the mail that I showed you in my last haul video, and most of this Halloween collection, except for the 2 Rob Zombie movies that aren't Scream Factory. As you see, they just say Dimension. There's no Scream Factory, even though they're in the set, but all the others say Scream Factory on them, so I will be counting all the others. And so we start off. Which way am I starting off here? I have this like upside down. Hold on. Move that. And I do this one. Sorry if the camera's shaking, I can't really help it. Big Healthy Radio keeps telling me I need to get a tripod, but I built this thing from scratch and I don't want to stop using it. So, I don't know. Tripod would be better, I guess, but... Alright, so we start off at the bottom. There are 42! I didn't realize there was more movies in this ranking than there was going to be in the 31 and 31. I thought I only had like 36. So I knew there was going to be more, but I didn't know that much more. So, bottom of the barrel, number 42, the worst movie in this ranking of these movies is Curse of the Fly. Curse of the Fly, it's boring. It really has nothing to do with the other 2 movies that's supposed to be in this continuity. You renamed one of the characters to something else. He's supposed to be the same character, but he's not. You retcon the end of the original film, which was a shocking ending in its own right. You retcon the entire first film by saying that Andre was brought back when the whole point of the film is a murder mystery trying to figure out how he died. So, yeah, this is the worst. It's even the worst quality of these. It has a bad quality. I know it's black and white, but it just doesn't look good. Number 41 is the Cabin Fever remake, shot for shot. And the next one is also a remake, but the reason I have this next one is the Omen remake. I'll tell you right now. Number 40 is the Omen remake, but the reason I have this one lower is because, well, this movie's terrible. Now, the first film, the original Cabin Fever is no masterpiece, believe you me. But this one, it's shot for shot, and it's not done as well, in my opinion. They try to play it more serious-like, and it doesn't work. Because the original needed to be, with this premise of this virus, it needed to have a little bit of comedy in it. Even the second one knew that. The third one is a little more serious, but still had that kind of comedy stuff. You gotta have some comedy in it. This one tries to be more straight-laced, and it doesn't work. This one, still not a good film, but I think it gets... Well, it's shot for shot. Just about shot for shot. But it gets the seriousness. Some things aren't as creepy as the original, which is why it's higher up on this list. But, yeah. So, number 39 is The Rental. I was with this film until we got towards the end, and I just went away. The ending of this film kind of ruined it for me. Like, it's like The Open House, the Netflix movie. It's like, oh, it's just some random guy that shows up and kills them, and it's like, but I need more. You didn't give me, I need an explanation. You can just say it's random guy. You need an explanation. Why is he doing this? He just shows up. I was with it more when they thought it was the guy who owned the house. I'm just saying. But this isn't a bad film, but it's certainly in a lower tier. We have number 38, Critters 3. This is definitely the worst of the Critters films. Well, the Critters films that I can rank in this anyway. Leonardo DiCaprio's first film. Sorry for him. And this is all leading up to the fourth film, which I feel like they ignore some stuff here, and they set it in the big city. It takes away from the small town aspect, which was better. And I never cared for that film. Next, number 37 is Damien, The Omen 2. Yeah, I hear a lot of people say that this is one of the better ones, and I just don't care for this film. Anyone who tries to stop him in the first film was one thing. It was done creepy, it was fine, but it's just rinse and repeat here, and it gets annoying. And yeah, it gets annoying in the fact the twist where the aunt was on the whole time just doesn't work for me, and I just don't enjoy this film. So, yeah. Okay, the first of switching around, I'm going to have to do number 36 is The Howling, and I'm going to have to save this case here. I know people are high on this, but it came out the same year as American Werewolf in London, and that one is way above this one. I just didn't really care. It's jarring, much like Harry was for me. It's a jarring film. It weirded me out, and I just didn't care for it. And you got Discount. What's your name, dude? Tom Atkins. He's my freaking Facebook picture, and I can't remember his name. Discount Tom Atkins playing the husband in this, and it just, I mean, effects are pretty good. I'll give you that much, but it doesn't work for me, Okay, just leave that to the side because I'll switch it. Next, we got another one I have to do this for. Number 35 is. So this is a Halloween one, so I have to kind of switch it into it. Number 35, ironically, is Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Now, it's not my least favorite of the Halloween films, but in this ranking it is. I have a soft spot for this because it's the first Halloween movie that I ever saw all the way through. But I know it's a bad movie. I get some enjoyment out of it, but you add up Tina, the way they treat Jamie, the way they have Loomis act, the way they treat Rachel, no. I don't want anything, no. I'll watch it if it's on TV, but if I'm going to throw in a movie, it's going to be one of the better ones that you'll see later on this list. So, yes, okay, so... Oh, okay, right away. I have two Halloween movies back to back because they're so close, apparently. So, number 34 will be Halloween Resurrection. Just going to hold that up right there. Halloween Resurrection. Alright? Now, the reason this is up higher than Halloween 5 is that I can put this on and enjoy it. It's not one that I'll put on, much, but I count this, and you'll get in my ranking once I do ranking the Halloween movies. I count this in the so bad it's good category. Whereas I can put it on and just go with it. Take out my brain and just go with it, enjoy it. From Busta Rhymes and his to, you're not Michael Myers, I'm Michael fucking Myers. That stuff, I get a laugh out of it. Because I can just laugh with it and enjoy it for what it is. But I know it's a shit movie. Okay, now I think we're done for the Halloweens for now. So, number 33. Omen 4, The Awakening. Made for TV film, and it comes off, for the most part, as just a retread of the original Omen, but with a girl. And then the twist at the end that she was carrying her brother inside her. I don't know, but I can tell you I enjoyed this better than 2. I don't know why, but I did. Number 32, Return of the Fly. Not as good as the first one, but still an enjoyable film. Vincent Price is still good in this. It continues the story. It does feel like the fly part, where Philippe turns into the fly, is a little forced, because I know they show that he's afraid of it, but it's never really brought up much other than, his father had the same thing, and then this guy, Ronald, puts a fly in there and turns him into a fly because we gotta have a fly in this movie. At least they were smart enough to include one in this one, but, okay, back on this. Number 31 is Halloween 6, and I have to go by the theatrical cut, and I don't care for the theatrical cut, but I know it's better than the previous 2 I talked about. It still has some of the stuff I like from the producer's cut, but the reason I don't like this is the music is different. It doesn't feel like Halloween to me. It feels like one of those 90s horror films, even before Scream. This came out like a year before Scream did, and it feels like they were trying to get into that trend, just as the precursor to Scream, it seems like, and it just doesn't work for me. The only thing that I think is done better in this is John Strode's death, where his head goes poof. Yeah. Number 30, right? It's Camp Brook. This film, I barely remember it, but Danielle Harris is in it, Chad Michael Murray. I think this is a pretty well done film until the ending twist that really makes it confusing. And it feels like they just threw that in there. Oh, he's the kid. He's the kid. And it's like, okay, but even he doesn't remember that. I don't know. You think he'd have trauma, but the acting's pretty good in this, and overall, it's not a bad film. Okay, back on this train, number 29, Omen 3, The Final Conflict. I love Sam Neill in this. Yes, the whole killing a bunch of babies thing is a little don't want to touch that, but I feel with Sam Neill's performance, it's an overall better film, and it distances itself from just being evil kid movie where no one can touch him and everyone dies. And to effect, that happens. Anyone who tries to get near him dies. But we have a conclusion, and the second coming of Christ is a little weird. But I do like this better than the previous 2 I talked about. Number 28 is Critters 4 in space. They're invading your space. I like space films, alright? I like sci-fi stuff. I like when things go into space. And Critters is one of those I can believe can go into space because that's where they came from. And I actually think this movie's pretty good. It's not the best, don't get me wrong, but I can actually enjoy this. Where it goes down for me is it is low quality because they had to split the budget between this and 3, so they can't really do much. There's a limit on the sets, and what they did with UGG never sat real well with me. Number 27 is The Flight 2. Not a bad follow-up to David Cronenberg's movie. It's a lesser film, to be honest, but I do feel the performance is really good, and the story is not bad. But what weighs it down for me is that it feels like when he turns into the fly, again, much like Return of the Fly, they had to have a transformation scene where this all seemed like a drama of him dealing with how, his father did, and the company's trying to rebuild what his father did, and, much like The Fly 2, it seemed like more of a horror in that it was a drama type film, which is what Eric Stoltz does best, but they had to have some kind of fly monster in it, so they transformed him and have a little transformation. But up until that point, I felt like it was doing good as a sort of drama film, and he was still dealing with, he was going to transform, but he transforms really quick. Like, as soon as he finds out what's going on, he gets angry and he starts to change. And then he cocoons himself and becomes the fly monster. It's like, okay, but it's done too quick, Okay, number 26 is... No, not that one. This one. The original Halloween 2. Alright, so my thing with Halloween 2 is that if you watch it back to back with the original John Carpenter Halloween, I think it's really good and it works. But if you just pop it in randomly by itself, or you see it on TV without watching the first one, it doesn't work as well. To me, it's always been the lesser of two, and I've never put it in a high standard in my rankings. It's not a bad film. I really like it. It's just, I've come to enjoy it more, but it's never been a big deal for me, you know? Okay. Okay, number 24. 5. Number 25. The Transformers, the movie. This is not bad. It's very 80s with the music and the feel and the animation. Killing off Optimus, obviously not a good move. Actually, killing off a bunch of Transformers because you want to sell toys. Yeah, what were you thinking? But it's not a bad watch. I do recommend it. Number 24, real 24, Turbo Power Rangers movie. Now, I like both of these Power Rangers movies. There's a lot in between these Power Rangers movies because you'll see where the other one was. But this is the lesser of the two. And I'm kind of holding this down because Turbo was one of the worst seasons of Power Rangers. And this is where it started. And you have Justin, which no offense to the guy who played him, but it was a bad decision to put a little kid in there. Turbo was definitely a dumbed down version of Power Rangers from what it already was in the first 3 seasons. And they started to get a little more... Zero was kind of serious, and then they went to this. Then they decided, thank God, to get more serious with the next few seasons. Because, honestly, if they kept doing this, it wouldn't have made it as far as it has. And they got more serious. Nickelodeon has cut them down a little bit, but it's not bad. This movie is not bad, but it does have its moments where it's like, well, why did you do that? What are you doing? Like, they show Pink Ranger about to morph, and he hits the water. You know. And it dissolves, and it answers a question people have been asking before. Because this kid's, wait, could they stay morphed in water? And that shows you, nope. But then again, she was in mid-morph, so who knows. But this is not bad. Ooh. Okay, another one. Now, here we go. Number 23 is Halloween 4. The Return of Michael Myers. Now, from this point on, actually, from the last Halloween one that I did, any of the Halloween movies that pop up are ones that I can throw on. Obviously, I said that Halloween 2 is one you have to watch back to back with the first one, and that's how I do it. I don't watch it by itself because it lessens it for me. But this one is one I can just throw on whenever I want and enjoy it. From beginning to end. Especially the ending. But, yeah. I don't think it's that bad of a movie. Number 22. Motel Hell. Just did a review for this. This was pretty good for an early 80s flick, although I feel like what weighs it down for me is that they promised this and we get it in like the last few parts. But the acting is pretty solid through. There is some goofiness to it, but it's an early 80s horror flick. You kind of expect that. It's not a bad movie to watch. Okay, I need a... What you gonna see? Alright, the last 3 I have here I'm gonna do. Number 21 is Critters 2. Now remember, I know in my ranking of the movies, I rank this as number 1. And I do get more enjoyable out of it. But as a film, I think it is actually lesser than the original. I get more fun out of this, but there's a lot with the original, which I'll discuss later, that really works for me. This one, there's a lot that works, but there's also a lot that's just kind of, cheesy Easter Bunny thing. Like, okay. Yeah, I like that. But there's just a bunch of, goofy stuff that... Well, the first one was goofy, but still somewhat serious. This one goes into more goofy territory. And it works, and it doesn't work. And the romance between Brad and a woman who's clearly older than he is just doesn't work. You know why I do it. Number 20 is The Fly. We're in the top 20 now. Number 20 is The Fly, the original 1958 classic. This is a fantastic film. What kind of weighs it down for me is the acting. It's very 50s acting, stuff like that. It's very aged itself, those type of things. Number 19 is Paranorman. I was surprised in this film how much I liked it. This is a good film. I think it uses good animation. But what puts it down is that it's just not as good as the rest of these, I guess. And you're going to really kind of roll your eyes at the next one. Because it's like, what, really? You think this next one is better than this? I had more fun with it. And that leads me to number 19. Tales from the Crypt presents Bordello of Blood. Okay. I know people hate on this movie, but I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was pretty good. I don't mind Dennis Miller. Yes, there's a lot more comedy in this, but I think it works. It's Tales from the Crypt. It's supposed to have some kind of comedy mix, and it's better than Ritual. I'll tell you that much. It's better than Ritual. Number 18 is Halloween. I swear I'm almost done with these Halloweens. Halloween. H2O. This was the first Halloween movie I owned on DVD, and I watched it more. It's in that Scream territory, but I enjoy it. The masks aren't the best, and there are some kills that are off screen. Thank you, MPAA. Yeah, overall, not a bad film. But like I said, some of the things I said weighed down. It's very of its time. I'll just say that. Number 16 is the original The Omen. This is a fantastic film. And you're going to kind of roll your eyes at the why I put this below a bunch of the other ones I did, because this is a classic horror film. Yes, but again, much like with The Fly, it's very of its time. It's very 70s, especially Gregory Peck's acting, as good as it is. It's very 70s, very hokey, and after watching through this entire series and knowing that it's almost wash, rinse, repeat, the whole trying to kill the kid, but trying to do something to stop this kid, and something killing everyone who tries to do it, does get a little old, and it kind of downs the movie for me. Number 15, Critters. From the music to the creature effects, this is a good movie. I thoroughly enjoy this. What weighs it down? The 80s-ness of it. It's very 80s, and you gotta be in the mood for a very 80s film. I'll just say that. I'm gonna have very little problem with the rest of these movies, I'll tell you that much. Number 14 is Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. And I really enjoyed this movie. I just feel like we needed more with Robert Englund's character. And I don't know. I think I would have liked it better if it was a straightforward slasher film. But as it is, being like a documentary style thing. And I like the little flip switch where she was actually the supposed to be the final girl the whole time. Pretty good. Okay, I got two. Okay, cool. So number 13. I'm almost done with the Halloweens, I swear. Number 13 is Halloween 3: Season of the Witch. This is a fantastic movie. I think for the rest of these, actually, I would put this in the, I don't know why this is so low. Well, maybe. No. Okay, so from 13 onward, these are all to the moon movies. This one goes to the moon. I don't think I'll have anything negative to say except for why I put it lower than the other. And for me, it's just not as good as the others, I gotta say, you know? Number 11 is Candyman, and I think I might give this a 9, but that's in the category for me of perfection. But no. Damn it. Number 12, when I say 9, number 12 is The Fog. John Carpenter classic. Tom Atkins right after each other. But this one is better in my opinion. And I might give this a lower score, but I've come up on this, and I think the Fog is a perfectly done film. It's John Carpenter. It's done very well. All right, now number 11 is Candyman, and this is a great film. Yes, it has that. People talk about the new one, say it's woke. This did it first, people. So don't be wagging your finger, because this did it first, and it does it well. All right. This one is going to be a tough sell. Number 10 is Sleepaway Camp. Now, some of you might sit there and say, Scotty, it's just a straightforward slasher film. The only thing good is the ending. Yeah, but I like the kills in this movie. I like the kills, even though some of them are off screen. And I think this is done very well. And the ending does make it. You know, if there wasn't an ending, this would be very much lower on my list. But as it stands, this is a fantastic film. First, we have 2 Tom Atkins movies back to back. Now, we have 2 Kent slashers back to back, because number 9 is The Burning. And this movie is fantastic. I rewatched this shortly after I got it, and it's still very good. Yes, the whole Crops thing, the reveal that it was the kid, the counselor guy, is a little meh, but still very good. Number 8 is In the Mouth of Madness. John Carpenter is back. Are you shocked that John Carpenter is in the top 20? All the John Carpenter ones are in the top 20? I wouldn't be. But yeah, In the Mouth of Madness, fantastic film. Again, Sam Neill, great performance. I guess a little hokey towards the end, but it's still enjoyable for me. Number 7 is The Fly, 1986. I already told you this is a fantastic film. Jeff Goldblum is great. Gina Davis is good. The effects are fantastic. It's Cronenberg. What else are you going to do? All right. Get the tomatoes ready. Get the tomatoes ready. Get the tomatoes ready. You're going to throw tomatoes at me. Number 6 is Halloween. Okay. The tomatoes at my face. Okay? Now, well, this should be number 1 because Michael Myers is the best. John Carpenter is the best. John Carpenter is the best. Michael Myers is good. But, going by the rest of these that I have here, these last 5, at least the first 3 are ones from my childhood. Like 1, 2, and 3 are from my childhood. So I'm not going to put that away. And I just like these other 2 better. One of the other 2 being a John Carpenter film. So, get off your high horse, people. Number 6. Alright. So number 5. We're in the top 5 now, folks. Number 5 is Tales from the Crypt. I'm done with the Halloweens, by the way. That's it. Tales from the Crypt. Demon Night. Yes, I think this is better than Halloween because the performances speak for itself. Halloween is a great slow burn kind of film. This goes balls to the walls almost right away, and it never lets up. And fantastic, Mr. Ho Dunk Po Dunk. Well then, there, motherfucker. Fantastic performances from William Sadler, Zane. It's just fantastic. John Carpenter is back at number 4 with The Thing. I think this is John Carpenter's best film. Why I don't have it at number 1, well, you're going to see my picks. And it comes from my childhood. And so, this is number 4. Good film. Great special effects by Rob Bottin. Great score by Ennio Morricone. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, good sir. May you rest in peace. And great performances. And I like the fact that John Carpenter deliberately doesn't tell us who is a thing at the end of the film. I like that ending. Alright, number 3 is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. Alright? Now, I saw this in the movie theater when I was a kid back in 1995. So it holds a nostalgia factor for me. Also, Power Rangers show I watched back in the day. I saw this with my mom. So it has nostalgia for me. And sharing a time with my mom and stuff. And, I still love this film. I could put this on and beginning to end. I gotta say, this is a To the Moon movie all the way. It's fantastic. All these from number 13 down are perfect for me. But this, fantastic. Alright, so now if you know me, you probably know what the top 2 are. You know what movies are in this list. So number 2 is Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, followed quickly by number 1, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I'll just talk about both of these movies. There's a thing with these movies I cannot just watch unless I'm drunk. Because there was one time I got drunk and I just watched the first one because I passed out. But I cannot watch this one without watching this one. And now, that might extend to the third one. But I've only done that once, and that was on Bill and Ted Day. But these two are perfect double feature. I love these movies almost the same, and it sucked that I had to rank them. But 1 and 2, I couldn't separate them. I just couldn't. They're fantastic films, both to the moon for me. Both to the moon for me, all day long. Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure is my favorite movie of all time. Alright? And people will roll their eyes. What? That movie? It's fantastic. It's my favorite movie of all time. This one is a fantastic film as well. I think they're both in that category. And I give it 1 and 2. Okay? There you go. You have it. I did it. Just wait till 31 on 31. That's less than this. But I probably have more to say. And I still got to figure out what my ranking is going to be for those. This took a while. So, what are your thoughts on my ranking? Know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I've been Scotty. And I'll see you in the next one.